up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Diamond Chat. Today we got one of my former teammates and good friend Drew Wyers on. So what's up, man? It's good to see you again.
Patrick, Dylan, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Hey, pumped up, dude. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Anytime.
so before we kind of get into some stuff, why don't you tell everyone like a little bit about yourself, and your college career so far. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey. I'm up at Bryant University right now, third school in 3 years. Really great experiences at both other schools. Can't complain. Made a lot of great memories. Have had some great experiences. Got to play at some pretty great ballparks against pretty great teams. Play with some pretty remarkable players, I would say. But I'm at the third school in 3 years, like I said, up at Bryant University in Smithfield, Rhode Island, and couldn't be happier for this upcoming spring and where I'm at right now. I'm a junior infielder, uh, true junior infielder, no extra eligibility, unfortunately, but I'm very excited for this upcoming season.
no, for sure. Especially when you're over there at Manhattan with me last year. Like you're a great defensive player. And just a great leader in general. So really good team guy.
I
So.
appreciate that, Pat. Yeah.
Why don't we get right into it, just talking about infield and stuff like that. What's kind of like your routine or like your practice plan that you kind of go about every day at work, and how you prepare to be the best infielder you can.
I mean, as us baseball players know, baseball is a game of repetition, right? I think nowadays there's a lot of cool drills and a lot of cool things that are being shown, but I think
Hmm.
baseball is very fundamentally sound. So I think it just basically goes back from what you've learned growing up from T-ball to little league to travel baseball to high school baseball and kind of what's gotten you to the point to where you're at right now and just kind of be using those reps and what you've learned from different coaches and kind of putting them into your routine. But I'll go into a little bit more specifics. I mean, being an infielder, obviously you need good hand-eye coordination, you need good feet, you need to be able to transfer the ball and throw it across the diamond. So usually there's progressions, and I think we can get into that a little bit later into the show. But I think it all starts from the bottom up, and I think being a very elite infielder, you need to be very elite in how you move and how you go about your routine. Um, and again, just like I said, repetition of the fundamentals is really what's carried me into where I am today and has got me to the spot where I am today. And without all the coaches and trainers and everybody that's got me here by them putting time into my development, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, again, very fundamental type of person, take a lot of pride in fundamentals. I think that's something that takes a big step into the routine every day.
Of course,
Yeah.
I remember
That's
I
that's
always had
well said
a
right there, dude. I feel like everybody always is looking for like a certain, secret sauce, I guess you could say, in infield, and everybody's always asking me because with me being a former infielder, now coaching a lot of our infielders, everybody's kind of looking for that drill. And I tell the guys what you just said all the time, just consistency,
Mhm.
start from ground up, and it's really just repetition, right? Pat, you mind if I take over with a question real quick? So I got one, but
yeah. Before we go
okay.
with that, I think it kind of starts with some little BP fungo from Pat Ben and Steve Angler.
Dude, best fungo hitter I've ever had.
Sort of
Is
say,
Locked
he
it in.
really?
just
Dude,
just
Dylan,
You
trying to
know,
get the team
he's
better.
pretty elite. He's
dude,
pretty
I mean,
elite, bro.
he was always good at hitting me fungos. He just had a lot of base hits left in him, bro. You know? But
Nah, he had a few of those. He just when you need somebody to hit him hard, just ask Pat Ben.
You,
Tell
you
you
quoted
that.
me, It's
yeah,
just
he'll pepper him over, right?
Sure will. And it's
Um,
rapid fire. If you're not looking, you better be ready, man.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
remember. Hey, dude, funny story, real quick. Let me drop it in here. We were in winter training at winter workouts over at Power Arm one year. I think it was my sophomore year. I wasn't looking, and he rapid fire hits him, smokes me in the ankle, bro.
Oh, jeez.
Dude,
No. It kind of
Oh,
goes back to even remember one time over at Power Arms, they were using the turf in the side room. So me, you, Corso and Eganhauser went out to the parking lot
Yeah, dude.
right on the
We
side
walked
of
the
Route
parking lot.
17 fielding
Pat was
ground
just
balls.
peppering fungos out on 17. Just easy. He's like, I got it. I got it. Unbelievable.
Stuff was
But
That's
awesome.
pretty funny.
kind of backtracking real quick. As an elite infielder yourself, right? Kind of talking about some anticipation. When I was playing, I kind of read a lot of people's swings. Yes, the pitches played into a part, but it was more so about like that feel, right? Do you ever
Mhm.
have anticipation before the pitch as you're going through your prep step, like, hey, if he hits it here, I'm doing this, kind of playing situations out in your head as well?
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, Dylan, like I followed you. I know your name, and you are an elite infielder. And I just from hearing your name and seeing you play, like definitely that's why guys ask you, and that's why you're coaching right now at a very high level, is because of the type of player you were and the type of standard you hold for yourself. So just for I respect you honestly, and I just wanted to mention that. But
I
yeah,
appreciate
moving forward with your question. I think it all comes down to every nowadays everybody wears their wristbands with the pitch sign. So I think it's just knowing what kind of pitch is coming. I think it kind of helps knowing what kind of pitch is coming so you can anticipate where your prep step needs to land or where your body needs to kind of flow into the motion of the pitch. Um, I think from playing up the middle my whole life and then transitioning over to the left side, specifically over at third base, more or less, being able to read pitches, knowing where a hitter's swing is leading, like you said, where he's missing on certain swings to dictate how you're going to move pre-pitch wise, is something that you need to have the baseball instinct to play at the next level, and I know you know that, and you could back me up on that. Having a great instinct on where you need to be at all times is something that not a lot of elite players have, and I think for guys that want to reach that elite level, just trusting your instinct and studying the game and studying players and studying pitches is just going to put you at more of a pedestal over guys that only kind of half take their reps or half take their practice reps or their ground balls, right? Like read where a coach's fungo is going to hit. And obviously not cheat it, but like kind of get your eyes set on where the coach's bat or where he's angling at. So then you know, okay, when I'm in a game situation, if this kid is positioning in this certain way, I know where the ball is going to be hit at all times. These guys see what I'm saying? So I think obviously playing situations out in your head is a big thing. And I think that comes with the mental side of the game, studying the game, knowing where you're going to go with the ball at all times. That's something that I take pride in. Like I really try to emulate every situation in my head, pre-pitch, between pitch, mound visit, whatever it is, to where if the ball's hit to me in this situation, I know what I'm doing with it at all points of the game. So I thought that was a really great question, and that's kind of what I feel and what I take pride in, and how I anticipate and how I go about pre-pitch routine and everything like that in game scenarios.
Well, Drew, that's why you're a stud, brother, and I appreciate you. I admire you, my man.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. Me and Dylan love talking about this stuff. Just having like high baseball IQ and just like having an understanding of the game at a deeper level than just seeing it on the field. Like kind of like I don't know how to explain it. Not like mind reading, but kind of like almost thinking about like what the other players are thinking. Like, say there's a guy on first base, like, and he's trying to steal. What's like his kind of thought process going through, like trying to pick up timing on the pitcher or like
Right.
reading stuff and like just putting yourself in the right positioning, to make the play and get your team off the field and back into hitting. So
For sure. And I want to add something and Dylan, like we said, ground balls and fielding is just catching the ball and making a good throw across the diamond at
Yeah.
the end of the day. Doesn't need to be the prettiest and doesn't need to be the smoothest. Just any way you can make outs to put your team in a position to win baseball games and to kind of give your pitcher a little bit of a breath of relief, right, Pat? Like if you know your defense is really good and solid, it helps your pitcher out by being able to attack hitters more in advantage counts, being able to have confidence in their pitches. So then you can produce outs to help you guys win the game. So, and that's pretty much something else that just popped up into my mind.
Yeah.
100%. I could
So,
chat with you all night, bro.
yeah. I mean, especially from a pitching standpoint, you don't need to be like so perfect every single one of your pitches. Like you want to be competitive, but like they don't need to be like at the exact point like where you need them, especially if you have a good infield. As long as you're spotting up everything, like and you have an
Yeah.
infielder like you behind you, you know. We had Chase and Danny Perez and Trevor Hansen last year, but like it was a
Yeah.
good quality infield that just understood how to play the game the right way and
Hmm.
just like understood like at that deeper level. So like the pitching staff had all the confidence in the world that the infield could make the play for them, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That was a really good infield.
Yeah.
If you think about it, man, it was really fun to play with those guys for sure.
Yeah, we had a great, really talented team last year, and as the year went on too, I feel like our bonds just kind of grew deeper, you know, with everyone on the
Oh, for
team.
sure. 100%, dude. 100%.
Of course, you know, so I know a lot of people out there like they've seen Dylan play, you know, and they've seen you play. Like people kind of want to like they want to see what the secret sauce is. Like what kind of like goes through a bit of like your routine. Like I know especially with Dylan, like when he was playing, he has whole sort of kind of warm up drills that he would do to like get his hands loose, get his feet loose. What are some of the stuff that you go through to get your body ready to go every single day?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great question. And I think a big thing for a baseball player or a high level athlete is having a routine that you trust and you stick to, and you know that's going to get you prepared to go play in a high level scenario, such as a college baseball game. But yeah, I think obviously catch play is very important. Us defenders have to be able to throw and catch the ball the right way. Throw it to each other's chest, can't be all over the place. And if you're accurate, the quicker you can turn a double play by being accurate, um, the quicker you get two outs instead of making it more of a bang bang play, which can lead to a win in a baseball game compared to a loss or a big inning. As you guys know. But a little bit more about my routine is it obviously starts with catch play. Starting off close, working on hands, working on funneling the baseball, taking it nice and easy, transferring the ball out of the glove. And then as we progress back, get the feet more involved, one-legged drills, throwing from different angles, getting the ball in the proper arm slot, right? So like a lot of different pieces go into playing catch. I think having the ability to try and hit your partner in the chest every single time is crucial, because then it'll translate to when you're actually have to make that throw in a game. You're not going to be all erratic because you've practiced it many, many times. And if you take pride in catch play, then you're going to then you obviously have that ability to translate it into the game as well.
You do a lot
So,
of quick hits too? A lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
quick hands. So obviously, as you kind of progress back, you long toss. You obviously want to get your arm loose, but once we get closer, quick hands is crucial. And taking pride in doing quick hands, like Dylan said, is very crucial as an infielder. Especially with Dylan being a middle infielder, it's a lot more crucial than me, who I'm a corner infielder. But having the ability to transfer and redirect the baseball is a very big part in the game. As you need, if you get a throw from the outfield, you need to be able to cut it, redirect to a base, get a guy out. Turning a double play, throwing the baseball around the diamond on a strike three call can create momentum as well. And if you're crisp with it, guess what? It gives your pitcher a little bit more energy, keeps the momentum of the game moving smoothly too. So after catch play, obviously we kind of take the feet out of it, and we go hands and knees, or just stabilize the feet, and we work on hands. We do short hops right at us. Then we'll open up, do short hands, uh, forehand side. We'll go backhand side. And with these forehands, what I try to emphasize, especially being a corner guy and having to play a lot lower and beneath the baseball, a lot more than some middle guys do, because one, you're at a closer distance, you don't have much time, so you got to be able to see the baseball first. And obviously, when you're at the corner infield, you have the ability to knock it down, since balls are a lot harder, and just kind of keep it in. So being able to kind of keep your eyes behind every rep, take pride in catching the baseball in the right spot of the glove, and then transferring it out, here at Bryant, we do high hand pivot, so not catching it, getting loopy arm swing, and then throwing. It's very catch, throw to the ear, kind of more catcher like. But I think that has translated over into getting the ball out of your glove at a cleaner action to compared to being long and then taking time to throw quicker guys out at a high level. And Dylan, you know that obviously as well. So once we get the hands going, we then kind of get the feet involved. Being at third base, I take pride in knowing how to play the X. So the X is either going charging a ball to your left, charging a ball to your right, drop stepping to your left, drop stepping to your right. That's something that I actually learned last year, and I didn't know that terminology. But after hearing it and then studying it, I definitely have taken pride in to adding that into my routine. So I think backing it up a little bit more, not being so close by doing the short hops, and incorporating more of a long hop just to kind of read the X, read the angles, read the different hops is something that I've implemented in my game, and that has helped me out to be able to play third base at a decently high level, I would say. So then once we do the fundamentals of the different hops, we then add in a fungo. And again, like I kind of progress from starting closer to then moving farther back. So close is replicating infield in, just kind of staying low, catching the baseball, catching below the baseball with our eyes, sticking it, knowing we're in the right position to catch a baseball. If we need to body it up, we body it up. If we need to come get the baseball, we come get the baseball, but not really implementing as much footwork involved as it's more just kind of getting the hand-eye coordination going. Once we progress back, then we will incorporate more of the footwork aspect of fielding to where it's like, okay, am I on time? What's my prep step look like? Am I getting around this ball? Do I need to come get this baseball again? And I think as we progress back, the more intense our body's moving, the more game speed our body is moving. And I think just kind of implementing, just taking ground balls and making sure every rep is clean and making adjustments rep by rep has definitely helped me with my routine and kind of moving forward with what my routine will look like moving into the spring and what has helped me get to where I am right now. So
That's
That's music to
beautiful.
my ears right there, man. I love that stuff.
Playing the X. I haven't really heard that much. I might have heard that maybe a couple times, but I haven't
mhm.
had coaches that kind of explain that. I really like that, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, that's hell yeah.
it's
It
like
kind
a
of
term. It's a term that hasn't been used much, man.
oh yeah, it's
Like I said,
simple.
I didn't know about it until Pat, Coach Wingo taught me it.
No,
So
it's simple but complicated at the same time. I might take
yeah,
that and say it's my own. No, I can't say it's my own though, right?
yeah.
But hey, can I kind of ask you a question, kind of going off that? I liked how you talked about, moving through the baseball, playing the X, all that.
Mhm.
Something about gaining ground. I've talked to a lot of infielders myself this past year when I was playing. I really took a big part of that into my
Mhm.
game. And people talk about throwing errors over kind of the course of about these past 2 years. I've noticed that a lot of dudes' throwing errors come from actually not gaining enough ground or gaining too much ground. I know that sounds crazy, but some
Right.
people try to gain too much ground. I'm sure you've seen this as an infielder, maybe even experienced it yourself, because I have.
Sure have. Sure
And then we
have.
kind of
Yeah.
gain too much, and then we take a big step, and then our arms come out of our bodies and over our chest, and we're just throwing this way versus
Right.
actually stand behind it and able to turn and use our hips and our legs to throw through the first baseman. But can you kind of speak on that a little bit? I know it's broad, but
No, for sure. I think like Dylan, it's all about having our feet underneath of us. I think sometimes people, like you said, try to gain so much ground to where they try to make the throw so much easier to first base, and then they feel like they just kind of have to lob it over there. And I think that's what causes the length, and then I feel like it speeds them up, right? Like I think when you gain so much ground, um, then
bless you.
you feel like you have to speed your arm up, and that's where it lags, and then your body's all out of sync. Or if you don't gain enough ground, then it's all arm, and you either bounce it or you just airmail it because again, your body's not in sync, your feet aren't underneath of you. you're not using your hips or your legs to really turn and throw the baseball. It's more of a less like a lag and a push, I would say. Um, but I think that's a very great question because people talk about gaining ground, but not gaining ground the right way. I think from for you who has been who's coaching now to be able to develop players into knowing how to gain ground the right way and keeping your feet underneath of you and not gaining so much ground to where then you have to speed your arm all the way up. I think it also comes with not having your hands in the right position when you catch the baseball too. And you've probably seen infielders like that to where when they need to transition to throw, they're not in the proper. They don't get their arm or their glove in the proper slot to throw. To where I think that causes the arm lag, or it causes them to short arm it and push it. Then I think, um, then I think that's what causes the throwing errors, man. Like the gaining ground's great, right? But if you're in the right position to throw and your body's in sync, then there's not really a way for you to make too many throwing errors.
Yeah.
Especially when we go back to preparing before the game and doing the extra work of playing catch and getting your body in rhythm and feeling it out and knowing what your body needs to feel like when you need to make the throw on the run, when you're charging a baseball, when you catch a baseball cleanly, routinely, like kind of just getting your body in rhythm during the preparation um, phase of getting ready to play a game to be able to limit those throwing errors. You know
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
know. I know exactly what you're saying because last year was actually the first year that I was consistently moving, whether it was a drop step coming through the baseball, just a routine play. I never felt out of control, out of tempo. I'm sure as you're getting
Yeah.
older, and because you're a really, really talented infielder yourself, I'm sure you're starting to notice as you get older, wow, I can play like the tempo that I have, and when I
Yeah.
keep it there, I feel like I can't miss anything. It's almost like when I'm hitting and I'm
Right.
in a position to hit, I'm on time for everything, and it feels slow. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like that tempo. I want it to feel slow and controlled.
Right.
Almost what it feels like.
Right. And that's a great point. Like I think a lot of days the kids nowadays speed themselves up so much, right? Because they don't know how to play. They don't know how to practice fast nowadays, right? Like everybody just wants to hit and see how hard they can hit instead of training to speed yourself up so that when you get into the game, or playing fast, then it's just repetition, right? So I think that's a very good point. Like the slow and controlled, right? Like controlling everybody says like all the mental game people, they say control your breathing. I don't know if people know how to control their heart rate or their bodies yet. At a young age, right? Like we see the pros do it because they've done it for years and years and years and they play fast, they play fast, they play fast. But like nowadays I think it's kind of getting away from teaching kids, not really coaches, but I'm just saying in general, like having kids know how to play fast and under control at the same time. You get what I'm saying? So
100%.
Yeah,
yeah,
just being like just full control of your body because you're the only person that can control yourself,
yeah,
You're saying so just understanding how you can move, that's huge,
right,
Especially kind of like now like going off to like different topic now. Like you're older now and like more of a leader position like in a program, and even like at Manhattan last year too, like being a sophomore and just being one of the guys to like really would like step up and bring the team together throughout the course of a season, and every team experiences it. Like people go on hot streaks, people go on cold streaks, and they feel like they can't get a win. Even if they try to do everything possible, they can.
yeah.
How do you like kind of deal with like a bit of like the failure part of the game, and how can you make the environment like better for your teammates and everyone around you?
Oh, dude, this was a bad question to ask me. No, I'm just kidding. No, well, I mean, Pat Ben, you know how intense I get, and I mean, I'm not a jerk when it comes to getting out, but definitely the competitiveness gets out sometimes, and I think, like you said, like having the ability to be older, more mature, and kind of experiencing what it looks like when you get out and throwing your stuff and what it looks like what it looks like to also be a mature college baseball player who has aspirations like every one of us does to play at the next level, right? And what it looks like to kind of take the mature route. And I think facing adversity is part of the game, and I think the ability to just live in the present and know that this game is very tough the higher you go, and the both of you can kind of have my back for that, as you guys have played at a very high level as well. Um, Handling adversity is probably the most important part, I think, of baseball, and I think the mental side is a very crucial part of the game. And I think for me, like I take a lot of pride in how I carry myself, how I show up to the baseball field every day. Um, how I practice is how I want to emulate how I play, instead of trying to flip a switch right away, right, and then trying to just go out there and then you're just unprepared, right? Like I said before. So, um, and then the adversity part is just comes along with the game. There's times where you're going to go 0 for 40 or start the season off both years of your college career 1 for 33, and then you got to find a way to kind of get out of it. But I think just kind of being tough, trusting the process, trusting your support system, having a support system, having teammates that have your back, not being too high or too low is really what kind of leads guys to be able to play at the highest level, right? Like, yeah, nowadays you got guys that are very flashy and stuff, but then when you see them handle adversity, they just look like they don't care, right? Like it's
Yeah.
weird, right? Like yeah, they celebrate, they do all this, they're very flashy, but then you have others who, when they do handle adversity, you want to be around the guy who just doesn't care if they fail because they have enough confidence in themselves to know they're going to get out of it. It's a part of the game, and they know how to succeed because they've done it in the past. They just got to get back into their routine. Maybe there was something in their routine that was off, to where they need to get back into it to kind of get them back into that what super. It's not, maybe it's superstition, but just kind of getting back into a plan, a structure, and kind of lead them back to where they were. And like you said, like the best kind of stay here, and not the best they go on a roller coaster. And I think Pat Ben, I think for you, just by playing with you last year, like you, let's be real, you didn't get many opportunities early on in the season, right? Like, and then you worked your ass off.
Mhm.
And we were in that indoor facility late at night. Remember, like many nights, or in the hotel weight rooms. Like we
Yeah.
were we
We
were
always
together.
be working out and always just taking advantage of every opportunity we got,
We sure will. After good games, after bad games, more after bad games, I would say, to kind of let some anger out. But
Yeah.
you're the type of, like you face some adversity. It doesn't all need to be all performance based. It could be playing time based too. And knowing when your number is called and how you're going to take on that next opportunity is very big in this game. And having the ability to be tough, and I think that's something that I take pride in, is just being tough and not showing the other team that you're weak. You're weak minded. I think we listen to all these coaches, we listen to all these people, and everybody says they are, but who really acts upon it? I think as I've gotten older, right, like, and I've experienced different things, I've been through three different programs. Like, I think it all comes down to culture too, and how your teammates and your coaches handle adversity. And I think having a culture behind you can really lead to how you handle adversity too. As if you don't need to be the guy, you can just fit in, you could just play. Is there pressure? Is there not pressure? Is there jealousy? Is there not? It all depends on different outside environments too. But for me, being older, um, definitely take pride in how I handle adversity, having confidence in who I am, having confidence in my ability, and knowing that I've faced it before. I don't have it as tough as much people, and now it's just like, all right, now let's just get out of this little bump in the road or a terrible weekend and move on and get back on track. So,
Yeah, that's I love that. I mean, that's like kind of like something I've kind of implemented in my own life. It's just kind of just like riding the line. Like obviously you want to be happy for yourself if something goes well, but like you don't want to let your you don't want to let your emotions get like too high. And then if stuff doesn't go your way, like don't let yourself get too low. Just trust
yeah.
your process that like you put all the work in, and that you're doing the right stuff and like everything will eventually work out. and
Yeah,
just
for sure.
conducting yourself just like in a professional manner too. Like that's where it all starts, like from the top down. Like when the program's professional, then like the practices are conducted professional, the people in the program are professional and attracts professional recruits, and like the whole thing is just it just works like a job and like has like a well-oiled machine. And like if
Yeah,
you want success, and how to deal with success, how to deal with failure, like it all starts with just your preparation and just acting professional and like in all aspects of the program,
yeah,
which is huge. So why
I,
don't we wrap it
I'm
up?
impressed, bro, like by your mindset, your thought process, just everything, dude. You're gonna have a great year, bro. I'm pumped up. I'm definitely a huge fan, even more of a fan now, for sure. I just wanted you to know that. But one of my last questions that I got, it's kind of my favorite. So I guess it's more interesting for you now. Let's go three. I think that's our lucky number three, because this is your third school, you said.
yep,
But it could be in the fall, in the spring, whatever it is, your favorite memory, right? Baseball memory. It
yeah.
could be, like I said, it could be playing, it could be with the guys, it could be in season, out of season, just something that kind of defines that school in that moment for you. Let's go top three for three schools.
Top three. So three different memories.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And they could be anything. Like, dude, a couple guys, we had a couple guys talk about going out with the boys. A couple guys talked about
Yeah,
season
yeah.
travel. Some people talked about, it was this specific game opening day, like whatever it is. It kind of just some fun little facts.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. Top three memories. Well, I'll start off chronologically a little bit. My freshman year at Stetson, my first at bat, like of an competing against an outside component was at the University of Florida. And when you go into the Florida Gators stadium, it's pretty surreal, man. And it's a very cool place to play. And it was a fall scrimmage, and it it was packed. Like it was one of the most packed crowds I've ever played at in a fall scrimmage. And I think this was the year it's 2022. I think they made it to Omaha. They probably
Yeah,
lost in the College World Series in Omaha. I probably
yeah.
sound super stupid not knowing that, but
No, I think they
um,
were. I think they were there in 22. Was that
Yeah, that was the year
I'm
with
stupid. Was that Langford or no? Langford 23.
yeah,
no, that
well,
was
Langford
Langford
was
because you had
there,
Langford, you had Hurston Waldrop,
bro. Yeah,
like the whole
Waldrop.
team. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they
Yeah.
were in Omaha. So it was
They went back to back, right? Back to back, or was it 4 years in a row or 3 years in a row? 22,
I think,
23,
yeah,
24.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
so.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that was the year of Skeens when LSU played Florida in the national championship.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah,
That was 22. Okay, okay.
the 22 fall going into the 23 spring.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Anyways, my
was
bad. Keep going, keep going.
no, you're good, you're good. And I just remember, man, it was a surreal atmosphere. And my first at bats against Jack Caglione. And first pitch I see it was 98 up and away from the left side. And like you kind of step out of the box and you're like, holy crap, man! Like this is impressive. And you're like, oh my god. But I ended up working a good at bat. I walked. The next at bat, this is the memory that really kind of that sticks with me. Bases loaded. I think we're down 4-1, and it's my second at bat, and I had a grand slam at Florida, so
Yeah, you're
it was
him,
pretty
bro.
cool. Yeah, it was actually over left field, which is where Wyatt Langford was playing. So hit it over a big leaguer. It was pretty. He didn't rob me or anything. Um, no, it was pretty cool. Like that's definitely one memory that like I'll remember forever. And like just like yeah, you scrimmage and you inter squad, but playing an outside opponent like Florida and doing that as a freshman.
Especially that being in the fall, dude, like that's a shock. You know what I mean? Most people
Yeah,
expect that in the spring. So your freshman year, you have that freshman fall onto you, you feel kind of
yeah,
good. But now you're basically still a senior in high school playing,
right.
you know what
Yeah,
I mean? But
you're right, man. Like that's a great point that I don't really think of, and but yeah, playing Florida, and then the funny thing is, the next six at bats I played, we played a doubleheader. So the next six at bats I struck out. So
hey,
like,
hey,
so you
that's all
take
right.
the go with the bad. Like you take a grand slam at Florida, and then you go back to being a freshman a little bit, and
Yeah.
that immature and like, well, basically, like you said, you're just a senior in high school still.
Yeah.
So I think that's memory number one. Memory number two, um, I think, I mean, obviously, like there's a lot, but I think it's not really a memory. I think it's just all the friendships I've made.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like you could say it's a memory because there's stuff in the past, but I think creating relationships with guys that you still talk to, day in day out, I think that's something that really I take pride in. You know, like just trying to be a good kid and just trying to be a good person to the people around me. I think that's also a memory to the relationships I've made, and then a third one. Hopefully, I'm gonna foreshadow a little bit. Hopefully, we're dogpiling at the end of the year this year for the American East Championship. So, or we're crowned the American East champion. So, that I'm
Beautiful.
gonna foreshadow a little bit. Go back, kind of do not really true memories, but I guess you could say they are. But hopefully that happens, and hopefully we have a great team and a great squad to have that happen. So,
No doubt in my
um,
mind that it can happen.
yeah,
Yeah. No, this has been great, man. Like a lot of good information and just great just to hear from a person who just really just like loves the game, just like in all aspects. It's because you get like a whole bunch of people who like they like going out and playing, but just someone who just really like appreciates the understanding of baseball and stuff. It's just great information to hear and just great information just for other people to know about. So
yeah, yeah. You're right, Pat, and I appreciate you guys very much for having me
Hey,
on. It
thank
was
you,
a
Drew.
great
Again,
time,
and
seriously.
best of luck this spring. No doubt in our minds you're gonna do some damage. So
yeah, we may
Awesome.
need to have a little clinic maybe sometime. Dylan Hoy and Drew Wyers and running a
we'll
Diamond
get it.
Shed
We'll get a little
infield
youth
night or
clinic,
something.
maybe even get a couple pro guys, college guys, get them out there. You
We
know.
need
Sure
Dylan
thing.
Hoy there. Dylan Hoy and Pat Ben. We need you guys there, seriously.
Yes, sir. I'll hit the phone goes, baby.
You sure will.
For sure. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and check out our other social media pages as well. So, thanks so much, Drew. Wish you all the best this year, man, and hope for all your successes to come. So.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Seriously.